Ladies and gentlemen, Mitch seems to have some really interesting plans, especially when it comes down to protecting companies. So, this came out on NBC News April 28th, 2020. Mitch McConnell's new coronavirus plan makes sure you can't sue a company that gets you sick. So, you can go to work, contract coronavirus, take it home to your family, and Mitch McConnell want to make sure you will not be able to sue that company at all. You know, the ones I think about the most are single parents, whether you're a single father parent or mother parent, and you are raising young kids and you contract it. Because in many cases, you are doing it all on your own. Some of you may be able to get family help, some may not, depending on your situation. And you certainly have to take that into consideration. It is impossible for you not to, especially if you got people in your family. You may have elderly grandparents living with you with compromised immune systems. Of course, you may have your parent living with you, your children. All of that have to be taken into consideration, especially if you intend on going back to work. So, Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, Republican, announced Monday that he is willing to work with Democrats to pass another COVID-19 relief bill when his institution finally returns from an inexcusably long recess in May. But seasoned liberal observers would know that such announcements from him should offer as much apprehension as hope. And McConnell did not go against type. His top priority isn't to address the myriad economic hardships facing most Americans who have seen jobs evaporate, salaries cut, small businesses suffer, retirement accounts dwindle, and may yet still take ill or die of the disease the government seemingly have no comprehensive plan to fight, but rather addressing what he called the lawsuit pandemic by providing legal immunity to companies for lawsuits related to their actions during the pandemic. Well, no wonder why many of them want to open up businesses because, Mitch McConnell here is going to shield them from getting into any legal problems if you go to work and you get coronavirus there. These people are so nice, aren't they? Denying people or their immediate loved ones their day in court for pandemic related deaths caused by neglect or other misconduct is a terrible idea. And it indicates that the differences between Republican and Democrat priorities couldn't be more stark. Congressional Democrats are fighting for aid that will preserve essential services for ordinary people and reduce economic misery inflicted by necessary stay at home orders, while Republicans are laser focused on preventing powerful actors from being held accountable. The American tort system is far from perfect, but it provides critical remedies to ordinary people who are otherwise at the mercy of more powerful actors. To immunize actors from lawsuits during a raging pandemic would be not merely unwise, but also perverse. Decisions made by employers about whether and how to operate with a deadly and highly communicable virus circulating have potentially life and death consequences for employees and customers. Providing them with legal immunity reduces their incentive to provide appropriate protective equipment to employees and provide safe environments to workers and customers. A world in which employers do not have to worry about being held accountable would be one with more crisis like the current wave of COVID-19 infections at meat packing plants. The priority that McConnell is putting on legal immunity for companies also underscores how reckless and irresponsible premature calls to open up the economy, trying to get closer to a pre pandemic normal before the curve of new cases is truly flattened and no vaccine or even proven treatment exists, carries massive risk to the public health. Well, see, they don't care about the health of the public, it's all about money. See, these folks feel powerless unless this economy is running. And look, this is how you decided to run everything. You built the whole thing on capitalism. So if it collapses, the people running it, they collapse right along with it. Okay, trying to get closer. Okay, I read that part. That McConnell thinks that companies that help to open up the economy face a high risk of being sued shows that he is aware of what a huge gamble is being made with the lives of working Americans. Well, in order for him to make a law like that or even suggest it, he doesn't care about your life. He cares about the business, not your life. McConnell's demand for immunity is also part of a long term bait and switch on the part of the American right. On the one hand, conservatives regularly call for the deregulation of business, and the Trump administration has made it a top priority to free corporations from public oversight. Remarkably, while it wasted months without making meaningful efforts to secure protective equipment or increase testing capacity, the Trump administration has taken advantage of the pandemic to ram through new rules, making it easier for companies to pollute the air. And in okay, let me just go down a little. The most famous example of this is the McDonald coffee case, in which an example of a genuine corporation misconduct. The corporation ignored hundreds of complaints about scalding hot coffee, resulting in a woman suffering severe burns that require extensive surgery after an ordinary spill. And a rote punchline for a generation of stand up comedians and sitcom writers, McConnell, invocation of biggest trial lawyer bonanza in history, is very much in line with this tradition. But Americans should really stop and think about the implications of McConnell's assumption that acting to open up the economy in the short term would necessarily result in a large number of successful tort claims. It's also worth contrasting what McConnell is holding hostage to try to get vast, unprecedented legal immunity for businesses. The top Democratic priority in this round of negotiations is to secure aid to state and local governments that are besieged by a combination of plunging tax revenues and increased social welfare obligations. It says something about the fundamental cruelty of the Republican conference that in the last round of negotiations, they proudly denied and desperately needed by Republican and Democratic held state houses alike through, though the state austerity measures would be a political disaster for President Donald Trump and incumbent Senate Republicans in an election year. Well, here's what I think. All this political stuff is for the birds. Ladies and gentlemen, this just confirms how much these folks really don't care about you. You're just out here working and keeping the economy going, and they don't really care about you. They only care about the ones that are holding the money bags in this country. And that's your large corporations and businesses out here. But as far as you, the employee, if you get sick with COVID-19, as far as they're concerned, they can just replace you and keep the business moving. It's no big deal. And as far as you getting anything for your family won't even be able to sue if they're able to pass a measure saying that these companies are completely immune to being sued for COVID-19 if you contract it there. So if they're going to do that, they're never going to give you PPE. They're going to make you come to work and give you nothing. And if something like this pass, there's absolutely nothing you can do about it. Which means if you go back to work and this measure pass, that means you got to provide your own face mask and gloves or anything else that you feel you need to protect yourself on that job. Otherwise, your employers ain't going to give a rat's behind about you, especially if you can't sue them. Okay, they're really going to show their butt to you because they know you can't do a thing about it. And that's the way they like it. Is an American grand. This is man, these people, that's all they do. I think they love being in these positions just to come up with a bunch of evil shit all the time. But y'all, please tell me what you think about this coronavirus plan where you cannot sue the company if you got sick there and you could have spread it to who knows how many people can be impacted by just one person getting sick. Please leave your comment and subscribe. Don't forget to hit on the notification bell, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace, family.